Hi loves, my name is Miss Delight and welcome to my channel. Here I do post sewing tutorial. If the first time you're seeing my face, thank you for stopping by. Okay, today's video is all about how I made this corset top with a structured side peplum. So if you're interested in learning how to how to make yours, let's just get right into the video. Okay, now I have my Ankara material. You need like 2 to 2.5 yards of Ankara fabric. Then I have my net. This is just half yard. I want to use this for my yoke. Alright. And this is my Duchess. This Duchess is just for my modesty panel. Now if you don't want a modesty panel, you won't be needing the Duchess. So let's just set all this aside and get into the drafting of the pattern. Okay, so now using my ruler, I'm going to create a line at the start, at the topmost part of my pattern paper. This line I'm drawing now is it's going to serve as the starting point of this pattern. So I'm going to label that line I just drew SH. So that line I just drew is going to be shoulder. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is to get our shoulder to bust. So my shoulder to bust, it's 11.5. I'm marking it and I'm getting my shoulder to under bust 15.5 and my half length 14.5. I'll write the same measurement at the other side. So I'm marking the same thing at the other end of my pattern paper. Next thing, to use our ruler to connect them. The first line, my bust line, label it BL. Next, my under bust, I'll label it UB. And lastly is my half length. That will be HL. Okay. Now, for my full length of this, I'm going to take the whole pattern paper now as my full length. That is going to be 25. Now, if you notice my allowance, I don't have my allowance measurements here, but that's not an issue. I'll add this when I will cut this pattern paper on my fabric. So I'm going to take this whole pattern paper as the full length of my blouse without my allowance. So that end, I'm writing FL, that's for my full length. So going back to the shoulder line, I want to get my shoulder measurement. I'm going to divide my shoulder measurement by 2. And I'll mark exactly what I have there. Okay, now for my chest line, I do get my chest line by adding 1 inch to the division of my shoulder measurements. So whatever my shoulder is, I'm just adding 1 inch to that. This is to create my so this is just to create my chest line. So this new mark I drew, this new line I'm drawing right now is my chest line. That's done. I'll label it CH for chest line. Now on my chest line, I'm going to mark my shoulder division measurement. I'll mark it there. Now I'll connect those 2 points, these 2 lines. You see me connect my shoulder line. Now this new line I just drew now is my armhole line. Now at the topmost part, I'm going to go down by 1 inch. This is to get my shoulder slope. Now from that point I went down by to my chest line, I want to get the midpoint. I'll make a mark there. Then I'll go in by half of an inch. Using my curve, I'm going to connect from the point I went down by to the midpoint, and from the midpoint down to my chest line. Okay, now for my neckline, I'm working with 3 by 3. So 3 there and 3 there. Using my curve to create my neckline. Okay, that's done. Now I want to create my shoulder slope. That's done. Now the next is our nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement is 8 divided by 2, we have 4. So I'm just marking 4. Okay. Now I want to get the midpoint of my shoulder slope. Now I'm going to use my ruler to connect my nipple to nipple measurement all the way to my chest line. And from that chest line point to the division of my shoulder slope. Okay, now I want to go up by 2.5 inch from my chest line. Now you can go up by 2 inch, 1.5 inch, 1 inch, all depends on how high you want your chest line to be. Okay, that's done. So the next I want to don't get a distance from my bust line to my under bust. I have 4. Now I'm bringing the four to my bust line. I want to create like a circle using that 4 inch. So just make a circle like you see me make mine. This is just to create like a guideline for our cups. Okay, so that circle is done. Now I want to create my dart leg. From my under bust, I want to go in by 1 inch at both sides. Now you can use 0.75 for this, but I'm using 1 for mine. Using my ruler, I'll connect from the 1 inch at my under bust to that at my full length. I'll do the same to the other side. That's done. Now at my under bust line, I want to go up by 1.5. Using my ruler, I'll create an arc or a curve. Okay, that's done. Now at my chest line, I want to go in by I want to go up, sorry, by 1/2 inch. And from that 1/2 inch I went by, I want to go inside by 1/2 inch. Now if you want, you can maintain your chest line for this, but I want to go up by 1/2 inch from my chest line. So that's done. Now I'll create a curve to reach my under bust. So just create yours like you see me creating mine in case you're confused. Now from my under bust, I'll create a curve to that 1/2 inch I went up by. So just create yours like you see me creating mine. That's done. Okay. So at this up part, I want to go in by 0.75 at both sides. Okay, that's done. Now I'll connect it down to my bust line. So just create yours like you see me create mine. Okay, so I'm done. Now I want to make a curve from that point to my half inch. And this is just to get the up part of my cup. So just make a curve like you see me make mine. That's done. Now U for up, D for down, 1, and I'll place my arrow. Now for the other side, I want to go in by 5 inch. I'm using 5 inch because of my bust size. My bust size is 39, so 5 inch will give me enough room for my bust to sit. Now from my chest line, I want to go down by 1 inch. So I'm just going down by 1 inch. Placing 5 at my dart leg, I want to get my 5. Okay, so I'm making a line. So now I have that line I went down by, that 1 inch I went down by. I'll make a curve from the topmost part of my curve to the 1 inch I went down by. Remember that 1 inch I went down by, it's like the length from it to my bust line is 5 inch. So that point, so I'm just making a straight line down. That's that 1 inch I went down by, that's just the straight line down. Okay, now for my 5 inch of that 1 inch I went down by, I want to create a curve down to my underbust. Now you place your French curve in such a way that your bust will have enough room to sit. So this is just me trying to create a good curve. Okay, so that's done. Now to my arrow, and I'm going to label U for up and D for down. Now this labeling is very important, so you wouldn't get confused when you're cutting this. Okay, so now I want to put my measurements. My bust divided by 4. I'm marking what I have there. My under bust divided by 4. I'm marking what I have. And then my waist, my down waist measurement divided by 4. I'm going to mark whatever I have there. Okay, so that's done. I want to replace my dart legs. So I have 2 inch down there, and at my bust line I have 2 inch. My under bust, sorry, I have 2 inch. Now at this part I have 1.5. I'm going to replace the 1.5. That's done. I'm going to add extra 2-inch allowance. So I'm just adding my extra 2-inch allowance. Now I'm using my ruler. Now this first line I'm marking now, the line I'm marking now is my main measurements plus my darts that I replaced. And now the next one is the extra 2-inch allowance I added. So this is not needed. You can just mark your line sharply, but I just wanted to show you. So Now I'm going to write allowance, so you know that this is just the allowance. That's the 2-inch allowance I added. Okay, so that's just done. Now I'm going to get right into the cutting. Okay, so the part you see me mark X with my pencil is the part we won't be needing. So I'm going to cut out those parts I marked X. So that's my yoke. Okay, now cutting time. Okay, so that's all for the cutting. Now this is just how it is. My yoke, my side front. Now that's my center front. Now I have my yoke. I'm sorry, my cup number 2, and this is my cup number 1. So this is just all for the cutting of the front. Now we move to the drafting of the pattern of the back. Okay, so for my back, I'm drawing a straight line at the top part of my pattern paper. So this is just the starting line for the drafting of this pattern. Okay, so next thing I'm doing is to get my shoulder to bust. Next, my shoulder to under bust, and then my half length. Now, I'll equally get the same measurement at the other side of the pattern paper. Okay, and I'm going to use my ruler to connect them. The first one is my bust line. Okay, the second line now, it's my under bust. And the third line should be my half length. So SH for my shoulder, B for my bust line, UB my under bust, HL my half length, and the end FL for my full length. Remember, I'm taking this whole pattern paper as my full length without allowance. Okay, at my shoulder line, I'm marking my bust measurement, my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Now I did get my chest line by adding 1 inch to the division of my shoulder measurement. So this new line I want to make right now is my chest line. Using my ruler, I will make a line. Okay, so that's my chest line. That's done. Okay, so I'll get my bust. I want to mark my shoulder measurements at my chest line. So this is just for me to create my armhole line. So connecting them together, that's done. Now I want to go down by 1 inch from my shoulder measurement. From that 1 inch I went down by to my chest line. I want to get the midpoint. Make a mark there. From that mark, I want to go in by half of an inch. I'm going to use my curve. From that 1 inch I went down by to that half of an inch. And from that half an inch down to my chest line. So this whole new is my armhole. My armhole. Okay. Now for my neckline, I'm using 3 by 1.5. So I'm going to make a mark like a curve. Okay. Now I want to create my shoulder slope. This is just my shoulder slope. That's done. Now my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 divided by 2, 4. So I'm just marking 4. That's done. Now to get the division of my shoulder slope, I want to get the midpoint. So I'm going to make a mark at the midpoint. Using my ruler, I'll connect from the midpoint to my nipple to nipple measurement and my nipple to nipple measurement all the way down. Now take my nipple to nipple measurement all the way down. Alright, so now that's done. Okay, that's done. So I want to create my dart leg. So I'm going inch by 1 inch from my nipple to nipple measurement. Now I'm using 1 inch. You can use 0.75 for yours. You can use half inch. So now I'm connecting from that's 1 inch I went in by all the way to my chest line. Okay, so that's done. So just for me to put my body measurement. So my bust measurement divided by 4. I'm marking whatever I have. My underbust divided by 4. And my downward measurement divided by 4. That's done. Now I want to replace my darts. Using my ruler, I will connect them. Okay, so that's done. Now to add my extra 2-inch allowance. Using my ruler, I will draw my lines. Alright, so I'm using my curve. I'm trying to get rid of that sharp edge I have at my under bust. So I'm writing AL, this is just my allowance, just for you to see where my allowance started from. Okay, so now from my chest line, I want to mark 1 inch down. Because if you remember, at my chest line at the front, when I was drafting my front pattern, I also went down by 1 inch. So for the back pattern, I'll do the same. I'll go down by 1 inch. So I'm marking a straight line. Okay, so that's just done. So now I want to create my neckline for the back. Okay, now I wanted the back to have a kind of like a curve in, but I like changed my mind. Okay, so setting that aside, so I'm going to create a point, something like a Queen Anne neckline, I guess, at the back. Now, if you notice, at this my back measurement, my like this pattern I'm drafting now, there is no zipper allowance. I didn't attach any zipper allowance to it. So if you want yours to have a zipper instead of a zip, please do add your zipper allowance. I want mine to have a strap, so no zipper allowance to this. I'm just going to cut what I have. Okay, so now I want to like take out my darts. I'm going to use my sellotape, my tape to tape this in. So I just took out my darts now. So using my tape, I'm going to tape this part. So in case you don't understand, you just tape just like you see me taping mine. So I just took out the dart of my back. Okay, so now that's okay now. So at my center back, I want to like go in by 1.5 inch. I'm going in by 1.5 inch. And on the top part, I'll be going in by 3.5 inch. So you can make yours lesser if you want. So mine is 3.5 by 1.5. So I'm going to create this slanted line. All right, so that's done. Okay, I decided to take up the at the top part. I decided to take it all the way to my dart leg. Okay, so I just took it all the way to my dart leg, and I'm going to use my scissors to cut it. After using my tape to tape that leg, like to tape that part I cut out very well because I wouldn't want it to end up losing out. So using my scissors, I will like cut it. Okay, that's done. We don't need that part. So this is what we're going to be working with, and that's my yoke. Okay, so this is just my back. Okay, so taking my yoke aside, I want to like create a curve now for my side peplum, my structured side peplum. So I'm going to tape this back piece very well on my tape because I wouldn't want it to roll like this right now. So I'm just taping mine on my table so it can be straight. Okay, so that's done. Now from my half length, I'm going down by 2 inch. I'm going to create a straight line. Okay, so now from the midpoint, from my center of my back, I'm going in by 2 inch. Okay, so now I'm going to create a curve all the way to that 2 inch I went down by at my half length. Okay, so if you can either use your French curve or your freehand for this, it all depends on if it's actually working out for you. So I'm just trying to use my French curve right now to create this curve, and it's really stressing me out. So I just had to use my freehand to create this curve. All right, so that's just it. So I'm going to cut through it. All right, so that's done. Taking our tape away. Time to bring our front pattern over. Okay, so this is my side front, and my center front. Now I'm going to tape these two parts together using my sellotape. Okay, so that's done. I've taped using my sellotape together. Okay, now using my tape, I'm going to go over to my side front. I will go down by 2 inch. Now, going right, marking 2 inch at the other part. Using my ruler, I'll draw a straight line. Okay, that's done. Okay, now we all know that my nipple to nipple measurement is 4, and that's for like my center front, it's 4 inch. You understand? So I want to create a curve. From that 2 inch, I went down by all the way to the center of my front. That's that part where I joined using my tip. My curve will end there. So just see what I'm doing in fact and just do yours. So I'm still trying to use my French curve here, but it's not working. So trying hard. If your French curve is stressing you out, just use your free hand for this. Alright. So my French curve worked out in the end. Hallelujah. Okay. So now going to use my scissors right now to cut it out. So just see what I'm doing. Cut yours like I see me cutting mine out. Okay. So that's just it. So this is just how my front is looking like after I've cut it out. This is my front. So I'm going to take away those tips. Okay, so this is just all for the draft of the pattern of a corset blouse with a structured side peplum. The next video will be all about the cutting of it on the material and the whole sewing process. So thank you very much for watching. um if you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, because we're going to be like an encouragement for me to post more content.